A new Runeterra expansion means I had another opportunity to ask Hearthstone player Rarran for his opinion on the new cards from the Glory in Navori expansion.
It's a nice looking pie.
Yeah, banana. Don't forget to like the video and let me know what you think in the comments. Enjoy. All right, I'm gonna let you choose. Do you want the first card to be spicy or do you want to start easy?
Let's start easy. Let's get the confidence up. I swear to God, if I get this wrong, it's gonna be rough. Okay. All right. It's free. This is from Targon.
Yes.
Okay. 2 mana, 1/4 round start. Heal me in your Nexus 1. Okay. I haven't played Runeterra in a hot minute. What does Targon do again? Are they like the healing class? That's where Tarik's from, right? Targ?
Yes, that is where Tarik's from. They have good healing cards. Yes.
I would say that this card's fine. Like, okay, there's heal me in your Nexus for 1. It's fine. Like a 2 mana 1/4 is actually like a pretty decent stat line, I would imagine, right? It's not a bad effect either. I don't think this is gonna be like meta defining or anything. It's probably fine. Can I go with fine? Does it have to be good or bad, or can I say fine?
No, fine is okay. Like somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Somewhere in the middle. Like like it is a fine card. I look at it and go, okay, like I'd put that in my deck, but I wouldn't expect it to like perform out of its mind. It's also very like, I like his smile. He looks good.
Yeah, it looks very friendly. It's definitely a card that will heal you. It looks that way. This card is pretty great, actually. But
oh shit!
So here's the thing. We talked about rotation when we did the champion guessing in your video.
Oh right.
The 3 champions. One was for Bilgewater, one was for Ionia, one was for Noxus. And with rotation happening and like regions losing 50 cards or something, Targon didn't get a champion, so they really only lost cards. And this is like one of 3 cards that they got. This card is fantastic, but Targon just doesn't have that much going on except some Leona decks. This card, if you play this on turn 2 against an aggro deck, aggro can surrender. Game's over. It literally is 1/4, blocks everything. It heals itself. It heals your Nexus. Aggro can just go next at that point. So it is fantastic. But Targon also lost cards like Zoe. They lost cards like Tarik. They lost a lot of good stuff. But this is like a small glimmer of hope for Targon because they're not the greatest region. This is probably one of their best cards right now, though.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Well, shit.
Yeah. if you're playing aggro, that smile is just pure evil, really.
Here's the thing though, is it because it's just the ability to block, or is it actually the round start thing? Because I think like the stat line's just, isn't it like, that's probably turbo nuts in Runeterra, right? The 1/4?
Yeah, 1/4 is really good, but it's more than a 1/4, right? Because it heals itself.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, you know what? It does seem pretty good. What about control though? It's just like a useless card, right?
Yeah, it kind of is, but having a 1/4, like target is also the buff region. So we have this card that's a 4 mana weapon equipment that gives +3/+3, and it gives it fury, and it turns it into a dragon. So if you like have one of that and you put it on this Cosmic Youngling, suddenly it becomes like a big threat that can also grow its own stat and heal itself and heal you. So Targon definitely has ways of turning a small little 1/4 into a pretty sizable threat.
Okay. Fair enough. You know, you're right. That was the Hearthstone brain talking, because I was like 1/4. We're not gonna get any more wrong. Did I do awful at this last time? I can't even remember. I think I repressed it because it was so bad.
I think you did okay. You did better than expected, really, because we had the 1 to 5 rating, and most of them were like 1 off.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right.
Actually, I mean, no, you did awful, so you got to do better this time. Here we go. Next card. This one is really spicy.
Priestess of Desert Light. Okay. This is from Shurima. 6 mana 4/4. Round start. Deal 4 to me. Draw a champion, or if your deck started with 6 different champions, summon instead. Wow, that's a really cool win condition. You know Reno Jackson, right? I feel like this is almost the same idea, like the Highlander champion win condition, where it's like you lower the critical mass of good champions just to put nonsense into your deck with the hope that cheating out a champion is just very good. Because again, I've said this in the last video, but mana cheating is very good in every card game. I would imagine a 6 mana 4/4 plus another champion could be good. The problem with this is the consistency of what champion you're getting. I don't know what champions are currently in the game. I would imagine that most of the champions in this game require some kind of condition for them to get leveled up or become very, very good. And I don't know if Shurima has champions that I just want to play on the board and hope for the best. Also, 6 different champions, like
that's the max. Yeah.
The thing about Reno Jackson, for example, right, is Reno is just a win condition in itself. If you ended up drawing it back in the day, it's no longer like nearly as good as it used to be. But back in the day, it's like healing 30 life for making your deck inconsistent could be the difference of you winning or losing the game. I don't see this as the same thing. Also, you're dealing 4 damage to this, so you don't even summon a 4/4. You just summon the champion.
Yeah.
Or you draw a champion. This is a round start. So you play this 6 mana 4/4. Your opponent gets to react to this. This card's horrible. This has to be bad. There's no way this is good. This is too slow.
Yeah, it's unplayable trash. Okay. Okay, so here's a really funny story. This card was bugged. That condition where you have to play 6 different champions, it didn't work. You could just play any champion you want, and this card would still have the round start effect of summoning a champion on the board. So it was bugged, and it was still terrible. That's how bad this was, even without that deck building restriction.
That's hilarious. The person who got that bugged, found that bug, must have had so much fun with it though before it got popular.
Yeah. People would just play only Aurelion Soul. So you would summon Aurelion. Like Targon can also buff this so it doesn't kill itself with a deal 4 to me. So you would just summon an Aurelion Soul every turn, and it was still too inconsistent and bad.
Yeah, again, because you're building your decks around champions, right? Normally, from what I've seen, Runeterra champions are like your win conditions. Yeah. But if you have 6 different, how do you build a win condition around them? Also, what happens if you just draw your champions? Like they're just, this card's useless. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
6 mana 4/4 do nothing. Yeah, that's rough. Nice bait, buddy. Nice bait.
Nice comparison to Rito, though. It was close.
Thank you. I mean, Rito is so much better than that freaking character.
Oh, for sure.
2 mana 1/3 Maddle Babs. All right. From Bilgewater. When you refill mana, grant me +1/+0 for each mana refilled. And this is not for this turn early, but it's showing its attack. I mean, you just showed me Samira, and you just showed me the whole coin package thing.
Yeah, this is pretty great with coins. It works with anything that refills mana. So, okay, wait. Okay, I will clarify that in Runeterra, if you pass turn 2 with 2 unit mana, it goes to spell mana. That does not work, though. It doesn't get plus
so converting mana doesn't work. Okay. I mean, okay. You just told me a 2 mana 1/4 stat line is pretty premium in Runeterra. So 2 mana 1/3 in an aggro deck that can scale is pretty good, I would imagine, if you can build around this win condition. Now, I'm gonna make another Hearthstone comparison for you. There is a card called Undertaker, which you might have seen from Naxxramas before.
Oh yeah,
which was the 1 mana 1/2 for each death rattle you play, you get +1/+1. That card was broken because you got health with the scaling. This already has 3 health, which is probably fine. Again, this card actually might be incredibly scary depending on how much mana you can actually refill. It's probably good. You probably play this in the aggro deck. I'd play this card if the deck supports it. Again, this one's hard because it really depends on the cards around it. It's not just like this is good or bad. But I would probably say you'd probably put this into the aggro deck if you're playing coin generation or something.
No, this card is really bad. It's because it doesn't have a keyword, basically. So if you play this on turn 2, it's a 1/3, and you really just want to get like a big stack of coins, and that takes a while. That's like turn 5, 6 maybe that you have a reasonable amount of coins.
Oh, okay.
And coins are all about really explosive turns. So you're playing your units, you're doing stuff, you're removing some units, and then you get to like turn 7, 8, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play a big chunky meatball. I'm gonna play my coin, and I'm gonna play another big chunky meatball, or whatever else powerful thing you're doing. And if you do that, if you play that stack of coins, Maddle Babs will have like 8 attack. But at that point, that late in the game, it's just like, okay, I'm going to block this with a 3/1 or whatever. And it's like all this work you've done. Yeah, see, that's nothing. Bilgewater also doesn't have cards that give Overwhelm. They do have cards that give Brash, but that's not as good as just straight up giving Overwhelm to hit the Nexus immediately.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Again, I keep forgetting about the blocking thing. Like the blocking thing is what kills me. Because in Hearthstone, it's like, oh yeah, I'll just go face. Like, what minions? Like I'll just hit you in the face. But I always remember, I gotta remember Runeterra, like you can actually stop them from doing that. Yeah, it makes sense why this is bad then. Makes sense. God damn it. Stupid mechanic. Okay, anyways. Augmented clocking, 4 mana 2/2 elusive. This is from Zon Piltover.
Yeah, correct.
Arcane. Play predict, then draw 1 and reduce this cost by 1. So fun fact here, Sonny. When you messaged me the other day and said, "Can you build me a deck with these characters?" I put this card in, I believe. Because I actually thought it was good. Yeah. 4 mana 2/2 elusive seems fine. If I remember correctly, predict is looking at the 3 cards at the bottom of your deck or something.
It's not the bottom, it's any cards, any 3 random cards.
So basically for 4 mana, you're getting a 2/2, you're seeing 3 cards, you get to discover a card in your deck in Hearthstone terms. You draw 1 and reduce its cost by 1. That's actually not that bad of a card, and I think this card's actually pretty good. So I'm gonna go with it's good. Yep. Now, if you tell me this card is bad, good luck with the deck I made for you.
Yeah, no, this card is very good. It's not like, you know, the all-star of a deck where it's like, oh, I played my Clockling, I'm gonna win the game now. But it's just, it's crazy how much it can do for consistency. That Sett Karma deck I told you about with the coins, like the infinite money glitch, it plays the Augmented Clockling because you just get to see your deck, you get to discount a card by 1, makes it easier to double it up with Karma, makes it easier to play it in your set turn, and yeah, just your deck becomes more consistent. You get a good unit that can do some chip damage with the elusive keyword. It can block elusives if you're against like an aggressive deck that wants to hit your face with elusive units. It's really, really good. It's probably like, if you build a Piltover deck, this is one of the first cards you're gonna look at. Like, hey, can I play the Augmented Clockling? Because it will just make my deck more consistent. So it's great. It's really good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it seemed really good. I was like, damn, like I want this card. In Hearthstone, this card would be insane. If I got to discover a card for my deck, draw it, and reduce its cost by 1, that's nutty. So I thought the same thing for Runeterra, and I'm glad it is.
Yeah, I'm glad you put it in the deck.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You gotta let me know how well you do.
I will.
All right, Secret Keeper. This looks like a Rise skin. I don't know why. For Shurima, 3-mana 2/2. When I'm summoned, create at the bottom of your deck 2 random level 2 champions that aren't in your hand, deck, or play.
It looks more like a Zillion skin. I was gonna say it.
Oh, yeah, you might be right with the beard. Yeah. Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah. You know, ignore what I said. No, I'm not gonna cope my way through it. I will say though, we just talked about your desert person a little while ago. That random champions in your deck often don't mean that they are good. But this is a level 2 champion, which means you don't have to fulfill a requirement, and maybe you just get a really good champion. Again, no, you usually build your deck around champions, so I have a feeling this is bad, unless there is a way to cheat out these champions that you're generating. Is there a card in Runeterra that says look at the bottom of your deck and you can pick that card and draw it?
No, but Shurima is kind of the champion region, so they do have ways to tutor champions. Okay, I'll give an example. There is a 4-mana 3/2 that says Allegiance, draw a champion from your deck and give it +2/+2. There is a 1-mana spell that says sacrifice 1 mana or kill an ally unit to draw a champion, stuff like that.
I feel like you're baiting me. I feel like I feel like this is so bad. Again, I wouldn't play this card unless I'm going for some fun, spicy content deck. Like, this is a content card, I would describe it as. There's no way this is like playable if you're actually trying to climb consistently. No, it's bad. It's bad. I swear to God, don't tell me this is good. This is bad.
Okay, I'm gonna cope my way through this one because yeah, it's pretty bad. But part of the reason I want to say why it's bad is because they rotated Zillion, which is literally like one of my favorite champions.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I think this would low-key be pretty playable in a Zillion deck if like there was a deck called Time Bomb Printer. I'm kind of, you know, known for that one, where you just summon time bombs all the time and you keep killing your opponent's board without them being able to interact. This card would be perfect for that because you get like an actual different win con, where sometimes you just get like a really good champion. And if you're like, that champion's trash, I'm just not going to select it when I'm predicting.
Fun idea. I'm glad it seems like Runeterra is really trying to do more like wacky stuff, which is cool.
Like I said, content card. So whenever the revenue is down, I just whip out the Secret Keeper and, you know, things are good.
So when you post one of these videos, times are tough.
Yeah, exactly. When you see Secret Keeper in the thumbnail, you know you gotta like help me out, man. God.
Help Sunny out. All right. The King's Court. Is this just a big boat?
This is Jack's boat.
Oh, okay. So this is Bilgewater, 7-mana, 7/5. What is the keyword on the left there?
It refills 1 spell mana when you summon this card.
Okay, and that's Brash. When you summon an ally, create a fleeting prize fight in hand. When an ally survives damage, grant it Brash. Prize fight is 1-mana fast spell. An ally and an enemy strike each other. They can't drop below 1 from this strike. So
the prize fight is a card you can main deck, and there is another card that also makes prize fights. So you will have a lot of access to it.
Nice. An ally and an enemy strike each other. They can't drop below 1 health from the strike. How good is that? That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really fun with the Brash keyword, because if something is at 1 health, they can't block Brash units.
So you could use this first, and then you still get your attack after, correct?
Yes.
A 7-mana 7/5 that returns 1 spell mana for this effect. It's very slow. I don't know how good this is. Like, I'm trying to think of this in Hearthstone. When I play a card that does this, with the Brash mechanic, you can block. I feel like there's just better stuff you can do, man. I don't know. Like, prize fight's fine. And it's cool with the Brash mechanic. It works really nicely with it, but I feel like this is just trash. I don't know if I want to play a big boat. It's kind of just a big meatball with extra steps. Yeah, I'm gonna go with my gut here. I don't think this card's very good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay, let's go. All right.
So the dream with this card is you play it, and you play it on turn 7. You get a 7/5, you get a prize fight. Then you use the coin. You have like a ton of mana, and then you summon multiple units. You get prize fights because you summon those units. You use prize fights on all those units. You get all your you get the enemy board down to 1 HP. You give all your units brash, and then it's like a win con. The problem is just that the coin game plan is just not very good in Bilgewater. It's really good in Ionia because of Karma doubling it, but Jack is just like, yeah, he's a big unit, but it's so inconsistent to get those coins that you can never play like a dedicated coin deck with just Jack. And this is the kind of card that doesn't really work with Ionia.
It also seems like a win more card, to be honest with you. That's the other problem with this card. It's like, I feel like there's just better win conditions for every region at that point.
That is pretty spot on. Yeah, no, that's spot on. It's win more. Okay,
3 mana 2/3 from Targon, Generous Gem Crafter. When you play a spell, grant an random ally in hand +1/+1. Okay. There's actually, I think, a card like this in Hearthstone. I'm trying to remember if it was playable. It might have been, but I feel like if I can't remember it being good, then it's probably not good in Hearthstone. So is it good in Runeterra? Would you say Targon has the ability to generate a ton of coins? Or
yes. One of their main things is gems. They have a lot of cards that generate gems, which is a 1 mana focus card that heals a unit 1 and gives them 1 attack.
Okay. It's tough because it's like, do big meatballs win you the game in Runeterra? And how big of a meatball do you need to get with a card like this for it to be good? It really depends on like the minions in the game, I should say, because if minions really like to get big stats and they synergize really well with big meatballs, like maybe this is really, really good. So I'll probably lean with like fine, but again, it could be really, really good.
There are a lot of cards in Targon that care a lot about extra stats. One of the most infamous cards is called Sparklefly. It was a 2 mana 1/2 with lifesteal and elusive. It got nerfed to 3 mana because if that card gets a single buff, it runs away with the game because it heals you back to full. It chips you for like 1,000,000 damage. And Generous Gem Crafter was perfect for that strategy. Another card that this worked really well with was Aphelios, because Aphelios generates new weapons every turn. So there's like 1, sometimes 2 spells every turn. But yeah, those cards got rotated. So this saw some fringe play before rotation in some decks, and now it's unplayable. It's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, it's real. This one's really tough because it's very contextual. Like this is a very contextual card.
It is.
When you ask to rate a card like this, it really depends on the cards around it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it seems like it could be very, very good. Oh my god. Okay. How do I say the last word? Mirai?
Yeah, Mirai.
Another Bilgewater card. 5 mana 3/4. Mischievous Mirai. When you play a spell, summon a powder keg. When they say they stack, right? Like if I have 2 powder kegs, does everything deal 2 extra damage?
Yep, correct.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be really spicy. Hold on. You play a spell, summon a powder keg. Okay, so this has to go in a very particular deck, which is you play a ton of spells with coins, and then you have direct burn to kill your opponent, or you have minions on board. If a deck like that exists, this card's probably phenomenal because it's just a win condition on its own. But can you generate enough coins for this to actually be good? Or is there just a better win condition? I'm gonna go with probably, yeah. There's probably better win conditions in this card. Because if this card is also just really bad if you just don't have the full combo. So I'm probably gonna go with like, I can't imagine this card actually sees a ton of play.
This card is really, really, really good. It's also one of the most interesting and fun cards that they ever printed, probably, because it creates so many mind games. What will often happen is just because you have this card, it's basically like spell damage +1, right? Like in Hearthstone, if you have a spell damage card, anytime you cast a spell, it's just +1. With the Mischievous Mirai, what you can do is you can have a spell that you shoot, the Mirai will create a barrel immediately, and your 2 damage spell will do 3. Your opponent freaks out, they try to remove the barrel, and then you put another spell on the stack to respond, and suddenly it does 1 more damage. So you keep creating like a bigger and bigger stack of kegs, and the more your opponent tries to interact, the bigger that stack gets. And there's also spells that don't even deal damage. So if you're playing a spell that's like 1 mana, summon a unit, then you just get a keg that doesn't explode because you haven't played a spell that deals damage yet. There are like OTK decks, and there are also just like board wipes, I guess. Like there's a 3 mana board wipe that just deals 1 to everything. You play this with the Mirai, deals 2. You play a couple of spells, it deals 3, and it wipes entire boards.
The second you said it was good, I like reread the card. I was like, oh wait, right? Because you're right. Like the second you play a spell like Mystic Shot, for example, right? Like it just becomes a better card, and it only gets better with each spell you play. And because it happens when you play a spell, it's an actually exponentially better card than I was thinking of it is. Even though I read the card out loud. It just didn't trigger in my brain.
Yeah, it's honestly one of the most interesting cards they printed because of the mind games it creates. Spell slinging decks in Runeterra have been pretty toxic in the past, but this card, even though it can like promote some OTK stuff, it usually isn't used for that because those strategies aren't great. But it's just like the spells matter archetypes become really interesting because of the Mission for Samurai.
Yeah, it's also this card is gonna be good until it rotates out because they're gonna print more spells.
Yep.
And with more density of cards into the library, this makes this card better. That's a really cool card. Probably will be complained about for a while at some point.
Agreed.
Seems like it. All right. Who the hell is this? Master Bingwin? The Sieve?
We call him Master Bing Chilling. I think that's his full name.
Bing Chilling. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like it more. So this is from Ionia. 5 out of 3/3. Elusive. Play. The next time you play a unit this round, summon an exact ephemeral copy of it. So that is a copy that dies at the end of your turn. Round. Or whatever.
Yeah, correct.
This is a very scary card because it's like almost in the sense of mana cheating. You only get it once though, right? Play the next time you play a unit this round.
Yep.
It has to be this round though. Okay, that makes it a lot worse though. That's unfortunate. But it's probably good it's like that because otherwise this would cause a lot of problems. It's really tough, man, because it's like if you have cards that want to die and you could just summon an exact copy of it, this it's turbo nuts. Like it's such a powerful. In fact, Hearthstone actually printed a card that's like 1 mana 1/3. The next death rattle minion you play dies immediately, and it made death rattle decks so much better because you don't have to wait anymore. And I feel like Runeterra kind of also wants that. But it also works really nicely with cards like whenever you play a spell, summon this, right? But you need to have the mana for it. And I guess maybe in a combo deck it works. I mean, this is tough too, because it's like, if you can use this card and you can copy a minion, it's probably nuts. But at the same time, majority of the time, it's just going to be not good enough, I want to say. I'm going to probably go with it's bad. I think it could be good though. Really depending on if you can get to the point where you could play this with another minion that wants to have another copy of it. But a majority of the time, I think it's going to be not good enough.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's just not great right now. It's really fun because they printed it with the set package. So it's like you play Master Bingwen and then you coin and you get something ridiculous because you can get that 5 mana you spent on Master Bing Chilling back. But yeah, it's just Karma just does it better because Karma lets you cheat infinite mana. And it's like, why do I need this guy when I'm already doing like disgusting stuff? It just makes it more inconsistent. It's a really fun effect because you can do it on champions, and it's generally super hard to get multiple champions on the board.
If this card was good, it would probably be nerfed pretty fast. This is a very scary card, very spooky card. You don't want this to be good, otherwise it's going to be miserable to play against. Games will be over at Imagine if this card said the next time you play a unit, summon an exact copy of it. Think about how broken that would be.
It would be turbo broken.
So, yeah. Very spooky card. I hope at one point it becomes playable though, just so you guys can see it. What the hell is this pie toss? All right. This is Bandle City.
Yep.
That's a nice looking pie.
Yeah,
but 1 mana fast spell, deal 1 to a unit, create a Perilous pastry in hand.
Perilous.
I've never seen Perilous.
Listen, I'm not the native English speaker. Come on, Rarran.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I am so bad at saying words out loud. It's actually atrocious. You want to hear something hilarious? Just like on that topic. So one of the new Hearthstone cards, I rated it tier S. I think it's fucking disgusting. I think it's what they printed was absolutely gross. His name is, it's spelled Pozzick. And I kept calling it Posek. And one of the developers who made the card literally tweeted at me like in a thread saying, Rarran, you have to pronounce it like this. Like, come on, dude. Like, who does that? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I've never got anything regarding Balcox in Legends of Runeterra. You might remember that one. Apparently, that's just the way to pronounce it.
I think it is, actually. I think they intentionally, they were just snickering at the office when they made it, right? They're like, he's going to say it. Okay. So you get another pastry that deals 1 damage to anything for 2 mana. What the fuck? And it's slow? It has an anvil in the pie.
And it still deals 1 damage. It makes no sense. That one should deal more than 1.
Yeah, what the hell? How are they throwing it? What the fuck? Okay. I mean, 2 mana to deal 1 and it's slow. The thing you generate, I don't care about at all, I think, for the most part. Now, Pie Toss, 1 mana fast to deal 1 to a unit is probably fine. I think that's good. Right? If I remember correctly, there's a card called like Pokey Stick. Didn't it deal 1 damage or something?
Yeah.
Was that to every? I think it was to anything too, right?
Yeah, it was to anything, but it got rotated. It's gone.
That card was like turbo broken, right? I'm guessing. So dealing 1 to a unit is probably fine, but you don't draw a card. I mean, this card's fine. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I wouldn't put this in my deck because I'm gonna build around it. Like it would probably just be there to delay a game or just gain tempo. Maybe I don't think you're playing this for combo. Like I can't imagine this is going in a combo deck. 2 mana is slow to deal 1 to anything doesn't seem very good. I also don't really know what Bandle City's up to these days, so maybe this is very good into a specific archetype, but I have a feeling that this is probably just like not great. It's probably mediocre is how I would describe it. But maybe the pie toss is good. I wouldn't play it for the pastry. That's probably a good way to describe it. Like the first card's good, the second card's bad.
Yeah, the first card also looks a lot more delicious. This card is pretty great though. It's very good. Part of the reason is because Pokestick got rotated. I'll be completely honest.
I was gonna say, is it because of pie toss only, or is it because of the second card?
It's both. Like, it's both. It's definitely like
actually.
Yeah. No, the thing is, you have to realize that you get Perilous Pastry for free, and like just the ability to deal 1 to any, well, to deal 1 to a unit and then deal 1 to anything is really good in Runeterra. Just getting that extra card that you can use whenever is fantastic, and ping effects are pretty desirable in Runeterra.
Interesting. In Hearthstone, you just pay 2 mana and you get to ping someone with Mage. Like this is child's play. What is this shit? Like this is good. This is what you're doing in your game.
I mean, you also get the portrait of Jaina. I heard she got nerfed. Her portrait got nerfed, and we don't have that. We just get like a spinning crystal or something. It's kind of lame. Yeah, Hearthstone does do that better. But this card is very, very good. Battle City lost a lot of cards, like other regions of rotation. They didn't get anything new, but this card will probably be like in 90% of Battle City decks going forward, just because they are a region that's good at pinging, so they want those effects. And then just getting the Perilous Pastry, like I said, you get it for free. And 1 mana fast to deal 1 to unit is just good.
Okay, so I'm gonna double check that I was actually correct here then, right? Because I said you'd probably play for the first card, but not the second card, right? Like the second card, I guess, is just a bonus, like you said. So I'm gonna cope my way through that and say I was correct.
Okay, if this card was just the banana pie on the first one, you wouldn't play it. If it was just the deal 1, you would not put it in your deck. It really is to create a card that makes it like, okay, now it's actually good instead of just being okay.
All right. Fuck, like 2 mana is slow to deal 1 to anything feels so bad. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Card advantage is good, and this can create tempo for you too because it's removal. It checks all the boxes. How do you feel? How do you think you did?
I actually think I did pretty good. I'm gonna be real with you. With rotation involved, I think I did actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with myself for the most part. See, the thing is like, it's crazy seeing how different our games are, right? Like, it's actually really cool. Like, I love doing these videos with every single game as well, just because it's interesting seeing like how designers take their cards. And the pie is probably the biggest eye opener. It's like, man, like in Hearthstone, paying 2 mana for a card that just does 1 to anything is just not nearly good enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's ass. Yeah. It'd be straight ass. If they revealed this card, like here's pie toss, people would be like, the fuck? Are you guys all right? Rogue has a card that is deal 1 damage so 1 mana, deal 1 damage combo. So if you play another card on the same turn with it, you draw a card.
Wait, that's Pokestick but better.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like you look at a card like this and from my Hearthstone brain, I'm like, this is miserable. Like, why would I ever want this?
Yeah, it's just good. It's just a nice little bonus. You already have a good pie toss and like, oh, now I get to deal 1 again. That's great. No, I'm impressed. I think you did well. The one thing I'm very disappointed about is that I couldn't bait you with the Priestess of the Desert Light. If you thought that was good, it would have been amazing.
I think Hearthstone has tried their fair share of shit like that. That just never works out.